One thing about it, you guys, is that Hybe is going to have the artist booked and busy. And this season, so many of their own artists had fashion campaigns, you guys. Like Mingyu from 17 had a campaign. Newjeans also had a campaign, or NJZ, and I don't know, that was kind of, are they Hybe or they're not Hybe? Katseye also had a campaign, you guys. Jin from BTS also had a campaign. So in this video, I'm gonna be reviewing all the fashion campaigns that all the Hybe artists have started just for this season. I'm gonna talk about the campaigns, the brands, the outfits, what I liked, what I didn't like, the brand's aesthetic, whether I feel like it suited them, what pieces that I really wanna buy, etc., etc. But you guys know how it is. I'll also pick my favorite campaign at the end of the season. So if you're interested in that, make sure you watch the whole thing and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And before I get into it, make sure to subscribe to Fashion Alt if you want to see more fun videos like this where I talk about the worlds of K-pop and fashion. Alo really said, if Gucci's not going to use Jin, then we will. And they did it in the best way possible, you guys. Like this campaign with Jin and Alo is quite good, actually. If you guys didn't already know, Jin is actually one of the ambassadors for the brand Alo. It's kind of more of like a workout brand, but I feel like they've also become more of like a lifestyle brand as well. But yeah, like the campaign, like it was a huge campaign, by the way. I feel like it was like, it must have been like 30 different campaign images, which is great to be honest, because I feel like I love seeing a variety rather than sometimes these campaigns are like 4 pictures for the season and that's it, you know? But this campaign actually had a lot of different variety and a lot of different settings. I'll quickly go through them because there's no way I'm gonna go through like 30 images, right? Like that's just like overkill. But yeah, let's get into the campaign. So the thing with this campaign is that one thing I really liked about the campaign is that they had a lot of different settings of the campaign. It wasn't like set on like a studio backdrop or whichever. This was set on kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of Mediterranean for some reason, but it also feels like very West Coast LA. So the thing with Alo is that they are a very like wellness inspired brand, like wellness driven brand, right? So I feel like their communication strategy or like all their aesthetic is very surrounded by like working out, wellness, West Coast wellness, taking care of your body, blah, 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 blah. And that really came through with this kind of campaign. So let's just go through some examples of this. So for the first one, he wore this like cap, this kind of padded overshirt, like a sweatshirt, and then like sweat shorts. The thing with Alo, I keep saying the thing with Alo, how can I stop saying stop? But so Alo is one of those brands that, like I said, is like a kind of a workout brand that's kind of evolved into this kind of more lifestyle brand. And we can really see that here with the more lifestyle type of pieces like the padded jacket. Obviously you're not wearing like a padded jacket while you're doing like yoga or something, you know what I mean? So they're thinking of like, let's say you're doing yoga or like you're doing a run and then after the run you put your jacket on, right? Like that kind of vibe. So I feel like this campaign really showed that aspect of Alo in a cool way. And then this next image is set atop of some kind of building with the glass railing and you see the backdrop and the lighting's really nice as well. It has this very warm overall lighting in the campaign, which I like. So yeah, like he wore these cargo pants, sneakers, t-shirt, and a padded jacket again, and then under the cap, right? Like it feels like very airy. It feels very cool, easy, wellness driven, sunlight, you know what I mean? Like feel good, invigoration, you know? Kind of gave that for sure. Next image, he's kind of wearing a more like running inspired outfit and you see like the backdrop, more buildings. This seems like the coast of like Italy, you know what I mean? Or like a Mediterranean coast, the coast of Greece or something like that. You see the water in the background a little bit, the mountains a little bit. And then the next one through a stairwell. This is kind of more true to the original Alo DNA, the workout bag, the shorts, the hoodie, things like that. Next is like a close-up of the jacket. This feels very fashion-y, right? Like it feels very fashion-y. Again, we have another like kind of overshirt, good shapes, good silhouettes, good fits. And then when he's by the stairwell, this feels very like Grecian now. He's wearing like a jacket. Again, those Alo shoes. He wore the same shoes in the entire campaign. And then this next image I really liked actually because it's kind of angular. It played a lot with the shadows and the lights, but then it actually like still focused on him because he has like the dead center position in the photo. You see the building around him, the green, you know, I like that, the padded jacket, the puffer jacket. And then now like this last image is kind of like the sunset kind of vibe, wearing this triple kind of effect hoodie. Anyways, overall, all this to say is that I like this campaign. I think it was done very like tastefully. It was well done. It showed pieces that fit him really well, pieces that personally I would want to buy, right? So yeah, I didn't mind this campaign at all, really, honestly, even though it wasn't like very like super high fashion, it wasn't super conceptual, it wasn't this and that. It just did. And I think it did what it needed to do, honestly. This next campaign was definitely a little bit more unexpected in my opinion. So Katseye, do you guys consider Katseye K-pop? Like, are we still on this debate? Should I keep featuring Katseye in my videos? Anyways, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so Katseye, global girl group Katseye, just featured in a new campaign for a collaboration between the brand Coach and Matin, which is like a Korean brand. And this capsule or collaboration was exclusively for Asia, I think like Korea, Japan, and like maybe China. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. So they're starting a campaign for that. So Katseye does kind of have a working relationship with Coach. They've attended the Coach show before at New York Fashion Week, I believe. So there's that. So that's kind of there. But then the Matin Kim collaboration with Coach was already unexpected itself. And then there was like a whole campaign that followed it, which featured Katseye. Was the campaign my favorite? I personally wouldn't say so. I will say I do appreciate the size of the campaign. Like it wasn't just like a group photo. Each of the members had their own photo, but I don't know. I just don't feel like this campaign was very well thought out. It doesn't feel like there was a lot of concept planning that went behind it. It feels very like mishmash school project kind of vibe. If maybe that was the concept in itself. But yeah, like we can quickly go through the campaign. So the first image is all of them like in the, I don't know, like in the room or like in the backdrop or like doing these kind of like feigned reactions or whatever like that. Yeah, so that, I mean, that was fun. I guess that's cute. And then, yeah, the rest of the campaign is them like in like these very odd settings. Some of them are like studying. It seems like some of them are reading. Some of them laying by the couch. It's like, it feels like very like random, if I'm being very honest with you. I just feel like the couch like covered in that drape was not doing it for me. And the biggest thing to me is that I feel like for this campaign itself, you wouldn't necessarily, when you see this campaign, you wouldn't necessarily think, one, that it's a campaign, two, they're advertising anything, or three, like, what even is it that they're trying to show? You know what I mean? It feels like very random. It feels very casual, which maybe that was the setting that they're going for, but I almost feel like it feels too casual. It feels too random to the sense that this really could have been anything. This could have just been a random photo shoot that they did in like one of those like Korean like photo studios. There's nothing here that really gives me like campaign. It doesn't give like budget. It doesn't give any of that. You know what I mean? Like if I were to look at any of the photos, I would be very confused as to what they're trying to show. And even if you told me it was a campaign for a brand, or like, I would be still kind of wondering what it is that they're trying to highlight within the campaign. Not to say that campaigns always have to highlight product specifically, but I feel like for the nature of this collaboration, that's something they would have wanted to do. I mean, some of the photos do have like the bag in the background, but other than that, the ones without the bag, if you were to ask me what part of the thing are they trying to advertise, I really wouldn't know to tell you. You know what I mean? Like it's not really giving campaign in that way. I think they could have definitely done something better to be like more wow, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a okay collection. Still, I haven't really like looked into that much. And just me looking at this campaign, I like what pieces are even in the campaign, right? Like it would be hard to tell in that sense. But yeah, I can obviously see there's a bag. Matin Kim is kind of like a lifestyle, like fashion brand, and Coach is like kind of like a handbag brand from New York. So very East meets West kind of vibe. Similar to, I guess, Katseye, which is I'm pretty sure why they casted them. It feels very like Matin Kim is like an Eastern brand, and then Coach is like a Western brand, and that kind of East meets West, like global kind of entity falls in line with what Katseye is trying to communicate as a group, right? So anyways, there's that. Like I feel like the collection, you know, it was halfway there, I say. Like if they put a little bit more thought into this, I think it could have been a hit, but right now as it is, it was like very whatever to me, you know? Calvin Klein has been relentlessly hitting us with K-pop idol campaigns. Like they've released several campaigns just in the past like couple months, you guys. Like it's crazy. So I'm gonna go through each of them really quickly because honestly, there's not much to say about each of them because Calvin Klein's one of those brands that keep showing us the same thing over and over again, regardless of which K-pop idol it's on, if that makes sense. But yeah, so we have Newjeans and then we have Mingyu from 17. Should I say Newjeans or like NJZ? I don't know, but yeah, so NJZ or like the members of Newjeans, they were actually, this campaign was a little bit funny because instead of saying like Newjeans or NJZ, this was before NJZ by the way, before they announced a new name and like during like the midst of the contract dispute or whatever, Calvin Klein didn't name them in the campaign. They actually just wrote each of the individual members' names. So in this image, you can see that it says like Minji, Hani, Danielle, Heron, and Hyen. So yeah, I guess they were trying to skirt around that whole thing, but yeah, they did a little bit more of an interesting campaign, less of a backdrop. They did like, I mean, it was shot in a backdrop, but they had this kind of car prop, which is fun. And then this other one, they were shot in this kind of like tunnel kind of prop. And then finally in this kind of corner prop. What I will say is that some of these images do feel a little bit more like high effort than usual for Calvin Klein. So for example, this image with Hani, Hyen, and Heron, like it actually looks styled somewhat, whereas the other images, it just looks like they're wearing jeans and jean jackets. So for example, we have this one where they're kind of wearing like a sports bra layered over another sports bra, and they're wearing a t-shirt layered over long sleeve, and they were like a cardigan, like a jean skirt. This had a lot of more elements to it, but again, they're utilizing these pieces that are very core to the Calvin Klein rotation, like these like sports bras, basically stuff they like carry on forever. Like it doesn't really give like big fashion, which that's not really the point of the Calvin Klein brand, I would say, honestly. But yeah, like that's a little bit more inspired, I would say. So I will give them their 7.8s for that. And then this next image, we have them wearing like, again, like the classic jean jackets, the CK, things like that feels more true to Calvin Klein, more like classically Calvin Klein. And finally, the group image of them basically wearing like their logo t-shirts and jeans. Like, was this anything like completely spectacular? No, but was it like fun to see? Did it give off like the fun, fresh Newjeans vibe? Sure. And then next, finally, we have Mingyu. Again, Mingyu has been in a Calvin Klein campaign before. Again, he's in this one. He's wearing the exact same jacket that Mingyu wore in the previous image. Denim jacket with a kind of contrast collar, black t-shirt, and more of like a uniform wash jean. And then the other one, he's sitting on a like couch or like a chair thing, and then he's wearing the boots. You know, like nothing, again, nothing to write home about. They're really capitalizing, or they're really emphasizing the natural looks of these people, or like their visuals, which I'm always here for, honestly. Yeah, Mingyu looks great. Newjeans girls look great. Yeah, like Calvin Klein is just Calvin Klein. How much can I really keep talking about the same denim sets from Calvin Klein? You know, like one of these days, I need to see something like wow me from Calvin Klein, you know, but we'll see if that happens. Okay, you guys, those were all the Hybe artists that starred in the fashion campaigns for this season, or at least the ones that I've personally seen or personally I know about. Let me know in the comments whose campaign you thought was the best. I'm trying to think whose was my favorite. I feel like definitely it was Jin was my favorite, because like just the whole breadth of the campaign and like the variety and the looks and the styling and the backdrop. I think Aloe actually did a good job with that. Otherwise, I feel like I like Mingyu's, because Mingyu's just like really good looking whatever he wears. So yeah, there's that. But let me know in the comments who you guys thought was the best, and check out my other videos I did on this. I did also Blackpink, so if you haven't watched that, that was a really good one as well. And then I did a more like a general one where like there's like members of ATEEZ, NCT, GOT7, and a bunch of other ones. So make sure to check that out as well. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you felt about all these campaigns from this season. If you like these type of videos, and make sure to subscribe to Fashion Alts if you want to see more K-pop idol fashion campaign reviews.